Today, we are going to learn about the various researches that have happened in the field of botany and what is the status of the research that we are seeing today in the field of botany. Once we know the plants and the use of the various other multidisciplinary fields, we are able to use the knowledge into various applications. So there you are able to see that it helps into diversified field, which we are going to see in detail in the coming slides. Today, we are aware of the global biodiversity, wherein we are able to have an understanding of the diversity count that we have in the world, especially the lead that is taken by the Q and especially in India by Botanical Survey of India. Now, understanding of the species and further understanding where they are occurring and distribution pattern, it also helps us to do the conservation action program. Now, for example, you're seeing here Philanthus emblica as well as Philanthus indofishery. The map is showing you the distribution of Philanthus indofishery, which is found restricted to the southern Deccan Plateau, whereas Philanthus emblica is widely distributed in the country. Another use or the research is plant microbe interaction. This is an integral part of our ecosystem. The application with plant microbe interaction provides more economical and environmentally sound alternatives to conventional process. We have used it in getting the development of plant growth promotion, such as fertilizers and biofertilizers. The usage of plants for therapeutic purpose has been known from time immemorial, but the latest research has led to use the plants in developing the nutraceutical and cosmetic and therapeutic products. Also, the research at the documentation from the folk healers or the local communities that is known as ethnobotany has also developed and also led us to many of the bioprospecting examples. One of the examples that you are seeing here is a Kani tribe used plant and the product that is Jeevaniya. And another research is plant environment interactions. Plants interact with a variety of abiotic and biotic environmental agents. They rely on pollinators for reproduction, form beneficial mutualisms with microbial partners, or only grow and reach reproductive maturity in specific climatic conditions. And they also go through a lot of challenges. Hence, understanding this kind of interactions will help us in situ conservation program and as also the ex situ conservation program, and also helps us to take a few of the research programs to conserve the threatened plant species. Another is biotechnology and crop improvement. Here we are trying to study and do research so that we are enhancing the plant biomass or also develop resistance to response, especially to the adverse environments and population growth by imparting desirable genetic characters. Example is agrobacterium mediated gene transfer has been successfully used in many dicots, and this method has been widely used in large number of genotypes such as rice, corn. Through this biotechnological process, and the plant breeders are also developing existing cultivars and generate new excellent cultivars. It is desirable to improve existing strategies and develop new methods of plant genome manipulations. The phylogenetic is a very, very interesting research that is contributing us across the various era of our life. This phylogenetic study helps us to understand accurate descriptions of patterns of relatedness that was available before the advent of molecular sequencing. It also helps in understanding the evolution of the plant species. In forensic study, it helps to assess the DNA evidence that can help to understand the crime, especially with the plant available, if there is any plant part which is there. It also helps in identifying the origins of pathogens. Why is it important? By knowing the pathogen, we are able to understand who is this new pathogen that is there in outbreak, its relationship to the possible known pathogen, and also understand the likely source of transmission. Thus, this will help in recommendation for public health policy. Not only understanding the genes, but this can also help the conservation biologist to understand how we are able to get back the extinct species. It also helps in informatics, bioinformatics, and computing. Many of the algorithms developed for phylogenetics have been used to develop software in other fields. Another very important field of research is climate change resilience that helps in restoring and safeguarding ecosystems on land and oceans. As a result, nature in turn can help us regulate the climate, give us clean, safe water, control pests and diseases, and pollinate our crops. One of the very vital field that is growing with various IT tools and artificial intelligence tool is phytogeography and biogeography. The application is into various aspects of a life, like it provides valuable information for establishing protected areas, designing conservation strategies, and assessing the impact of habitat fragmentation and climate change on plant communities. This study also helps us to understand plant distribution. Researchers can identify areas of high species richness, endemic species, and unique plant communities. This information aids in assessing the health and diversity of ecosystem, understanding patterns of species evolution, and identifying areas of conservation concern. It also helps in understanding ecological processes and interactions between plant and their environment. This knowledge contributes to our understanding of ecosystem functioning, species interactions, and adaptations to different eco and environmental conditions. Huge research is happening in climate change. As climate changes shift, the plant species may experience range shifts, altered phenology, and changes in species composition. Thus, phytogeographical studies help in tracking these changes, identify vulnerable species and ecosystems, and provide data for climate change models and predictions. This study also helps us in examining the distribution of plant species across regions and continents, thus helping the researchers to identify historical connections, dispersal routes, and barriers that have shaped plant distribution over time. Another very important use is land use planning. This study provides very important information for land use planning and management. By understanding the distribution of plant species and vegetation type, decision makers can make informed choices about land use practices, agriculture planning, and urban development while minimizing impacts on natural ecosystem and preserving important habitat. This also helps us to restore the human health and agriculture. Very, very important another field is global agriculture and food security. Despite the fact that the world food supplies have grown faster than population, Persisting problems of poverty and malnutrition results in nearly 20% of the inhabitants of developing countries being undernourished. Lack of access to food persists even when food is available on the market. In order to supply food for and reduce poverty in the global population expected to reach 8.3 billion by the year of 2025, and with ever higher pressures on the resource base, the world will need substantial increases in agricultural productivity. Therefore, agriculture research plays a very crucial role in food security and agriculture development by increasing agriculture production to meet the food needs of rapidly growing population. This slide is showing how the management of invasive species research is happening. Now, this is a very, very important field where it helps in safeguarding biodiversity, reducing losses from forestry and agriculture, therefore finally helping us in the health of ecosystem. As invasive species and their impact continues to increase, so does the need to develop appropriate policy and management responses. Recognizing the economic benefit of control provides vital information to policymakers and practitioners to provide us invasive species control action. Another way of using this invasive species, this slide shows a lantana camara. The lantana camara wood has been used by the women artisans of Lokere to make furnitures. The elephant that you're seeing, this is a community group that is there in Soliga who have developed a sustainable enterprise and making the customized elephant model, which has been kept in various places for display and in various sizes. Thank you.